is the 4th generation iPad Pro that was announced on March 18, 2020, and it comes in this nicely designed box. Inside the box we're greeted with the iPad Pro itself, some papers, some stickers, 18-watt USB-C power adapter, USB-C charging cable, and that's pretty much it. It comes in two sizes, 11-inch and 12.9-inch. Instead of 64, the storage starts from 128GB and goes up to 1TB. It has 64-bit A12Z chip in it instead of A12X, and 8-core GPU instead of 7, and 6GB of RAM in every model. At the back we have the new camera bump that has wide and ultra-wide cameras and a LiDAR scanner that detects objects up to 5 meters. And the rest is pretty much the same as the previous generation. So I guess the question is it any good?
No one. Absolutely no one. Apple, here, I made you a new iPad. Actually, if you think about this, this is a brand new iPad with new CPU, new GPU, 6GB of RAM in every model. Previously, only 1TB model had the 6GB of RAM, 2 rear cameras and a LiDAR sensor, and the base model starts from 128GB instead of 64GB, and the ones that have higher capacity are actually $50 cheaper compared to the prices when the previous generation was released. The design is beautiful, 120Hz screen is beautiful, and it doesn't flicker. Same great battery life like the previous generation iPad Pro. So if you're in market to buy an iPad Pro, I think this is a great choice. If you already have the previous generation iPad Pro, get out. Just get out. Don't you have real problems? This is the 512GB version. Let's see what kind of a performance difference we're getting with this $50 cheaper iPad Pro.
When it comes to Geekbench 5, 2020 iPad Pro scores barely higher than the 2018 iPad Pro. But in compute test, we start to see some difference. When it comes to Antutu, 2020 iPad Pro is ahead of 2018 iPad Pro. To understand what these scores mean, I used Adobe Rush and exported 4.42GB MOV file to 1080p. 1, 2, 3. 2020 iPad Pro finished the task in 8 minutes and 49 seconds, where 2018 iPad Pro finished it in, hold on to something, 17 minutes and 15 seconds.
This 12.9-inch iPad Pro compared to the previous generation is 10 grams heavier. I wonder if that's because they made this sturdier.
It is hard to say, but I can tell you this, on regular use my 2018 iPad didn't bend at all. If you're worried that a 12.9-inch aluminum tablet with 5.9mm thickness may bend if you sit on it, then you may need a protective case.
For me, AR is the future. I'll take AR over VR on any given day, except for that Half-Life game. That thing is insane. But I cannot wait to wear some glasses that enhances what I see. Maybe blocks the ads I see as I'm walking around. I cannot wait for augmented reality to become reality. An iPad is taking a step forward in AR with Lidar Sensor.
When we look at LiDAR with an infrared camera, you can see how it projects dots, and using those dots it detects the placement of the objects up to 5 meters. This is extremely helpful to place an AR object in real life without scanning the room with the camera first. It makes the scaling of the AR model more accurate. The AR object sits in its place far better. And it is great for object occlusion because via LiDAR, iPad can tell where the AR object is located. Object occlusion is not jaw-dropping accurate, but it is still impressive.
Alright, now let's take a look at the camera. Sadly, we don't have portrait mode for the rear camera. When you hit portrait, it turns into the front-facing camera by itself. But we can shoot video, we can zoom in and out. But of course I like to see if I can do a dolly shot. Handheld dolly shot, here we go. Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
What is that little jump?
Yeah, because we're really close. 4K 60 frames per second. With this one we cannot switch between lenses, but we can pick the lens we want to shoot with. Let's see if we have a nice stabilization.
Well, we don't. Because the wide angle on the iPad doesn't have the optical image stabilization. And the electronic image stabilization causes 9% crop, just like the iPhone.
You know how in video mode on our iPhones we can touch the resolution that is displayed here and change it? We cannot change it with this one. Wonder when that's gonna come.
Touch surfaces don't want to be vertical. It gives great demo, but after a short period of time, you start to fatigue, and after an extended period of time, your arm wants to fall off.
Now with iOS 13.4, we have the mouse and trackpad support for our iPads. We can use trackpad and mouse at the same time. It's actually very easy to get used to. I made a separate video about this. The mouse icon is absolutely brilliant. It changes shape according to where you are and what you want to do. I actually don't mind this shape-shifting mouse icon on my macOS as well. Apple also has this new keyboard and trackpad combo for your iPad, and it costs only $349. That keyboard actually has backlit keys, USB-C charging port, and a multi-touch trackpad. It is also adjustable. You can adjust how you put your iPad on it, but it is not rotatable. I don't have one, but we can use AR and take a look at it. We can review it via AR. USB-C pass-through charging port, and I hope that thing in the middle opens up and we can put our pencil in there, like a compartment in our 1984 Toyota Corolla. But the keyboard looks good. I think it's gonna be a good quality product, and that's probably why it's that expensive. It also has an Apple logo back here. Nice cutout for the camera. Now, trackpad and mouse support is great. I was actually making fun of them because they don't put touch screens on MacBooks, but now we have iPads with a trackpad keyboard combo that looks like a computer, and they're selling it as a computer. But the difference is this is so modular. Now you can just grab your iPad and use it as an iPad, or you can just place it on a keyboard and use it with the keyboard and trackpad, or you can use your own trackpad, or you can use a separate brand mouse, like I'm using Logitech mouse here, or you can use the pencil, which makes things so much. I love this thing. This makes the iPad experience completely different for me. This is the best thing for me. So in that walled garden of Apple, iPad becomes so much more versatile. You can even use it as second screen via sidecar with your MacBook or your iMac. So in the end, is iPad a computer? Absolutely not. Do you know how I know iPad is not a computer? It doesn't even have a calculator app. Or does it? Let me show you something. 2 plus 2 times 8 divided by 4. There you go, calculator. Doesn't even stop there. Converts for you as well, Fahrenheit to Celsius. So of course iPad is a computer, but is it a laptop desktop replacement? Well, if you are a power user, then absolutely not. There are a lot of instances where I put my iPad down and just use my laptop or my desktop. But it is getting there. I have my hopes up for iOS 14.
So, is the 4th generation iPad Pro the best iPad Pro out there right now? Well, yes. Yes, it is. And since the iPads last forever, especially if you know when to stop updating your OS and take good care of your battery, this one looks like it's going to last for years as well. I'm very happy that Apple is paying attention to meaningful innovation with its LiDAR scanner, and I cannot wait to experience its AR more and more. If you don't care about the AR or the ultra wide angle camera, now the previous generation iPad is a lot cheaper. So everybody wins. Stay safe and wash your hands.